And we're live. Good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever you may be, and welcome to another scene in Living World of Darkness, Mage from the Ashes. The scene is set in the Chantry, where two of the magelings, specifically Ava and Alex, as the people in the Chantry know her, are bonding a little in the common room. Each of the two bear their own questions, and it is here that we will begin our scene.
Yeah, I think they just ended their first shift in the takeaway. So Ava, at least for her part, is kind of tired. She's not used to doing like cooking for like restaurant style. Most of her cooking is done more in a private setting. So there are like grease spots on her clothes now, and they probably both smell like grease and food, and yeah. So Ava kind of plunks herself down in one of the beanbag like chairs and takes off her glasses and rubs her eyes like, wow, that was um that was intense.
Kind of. Yeah. Well, it was, but like a lot of this is intense, honestly.
Yeah, I've been able to get used to it like a little bit. So yeah, but congrats, you also did your first magic.
Yeah, I know it wasn't much, but like, well,
I mean,
I mean, it
I,
felt like. But do you know, like, how are you sure? Like, is there a way to make sure that you felt it? It was unlike anything I've ever felt before, and I'm quite sure I felt like your life force or something. It was amazing, but like.
well, if you want to know if it's magic, then try and do it again, or try something else. I I've not tried to sense someone's life force. It sounds a bit Star Trek. Sorry, Star Wars. Um,
Oh, it's more like just human, like you know, connecting with each other and not being strangers to each other. Like more like that.
oh, okay. I figured it was more like something like, smell the midichlorians. Um,
No, no, nothing like that. Like it's not like scientific. It's just like going with it and like relaxing and just embracing like each other.
Interesting, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like, have you ever tried like meditating and shit? Like, it's
Yeah,
it's really good.
I know. Um, yeah.
That's what it's all about. Well, I mean, so far, but like with what I know, but
Mm. Well, that's your way of getting to feel um, life, I guess. I think it works differently for others. Like I said, you kind of all develop your own ways and your own way of doing things.
yeah, I can dig that. Like, you know. we're all like pilots in different ships, and we're all like finding our own courses like through the universe. It's kind of awesome that way.
Yeah.
Like this giant consciousness that we're all trying to get to in different ways.
Sure. If you see it that way, that would work, I guess.
No, but that's a way of seeing it. Like, I get it. Like,
Never really
oh,
seen.
it's so trippy.
Never really seen the universe as something like organic. I don't know. Like I said,
No, it's like
everybody has their own
it's
way.
about like like we are like the universe is about as organic as we are like like stars and non-organic. You know, like it's like we're just as much stars as the stars are living things, right?
Ava is kind of looking at Alex like,
You're quite you like from what little you know, this sounds like someone who has probably done some drugs and well, she doesn't seem to be under the influence at the moment, but well, who knows?
so yeah,
But this
Ava just
sounds
kind of
like it's like fairly stoner talk, but
mm-hmm. Well, like I said, if that's what you believe, then that's cool.
um, like I know we don't know each other very well. Like we have like we've only met, but we've been through some shit. You've helped me, and I want to help you and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
like, can I ask you some like?
You can
You
always ask.
seem almost like nervous all the time. Like I get it, like with the situation and stuff, but is there something like? Am I making you uncomfortable? Like,
No,
just say if
no,
there's
no,
anything.
no. There's really nothing. I just I don't. I'm just not really used to being around people all the time. Um,
Oh,
so
okay. Well, like,
I mean, I like being around people. Don't get me wrong, but it's just a bit much. I
you
Yeah.
just have to get used to it, and that's totally fine. Like, it's most of it. Like, I used to live in a commune for one, so like I'm used to it. Like, all different people all around. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
if you're like living by yourself and stuff, like, it doesn't necessarily help, but I can totally
I
like.
like poof. Seems we've lost a Peter.
Technical difficulties.
I guess.
We can just say that Alex faded out for a second.
And yeah, I think with Alex kind of trailing off in her own thoughts, Ava is gonna quickly grab 2 glasses of whiskey and return from the kitchen and set one down in front of Alex and one for herself.
Oh man, that's. I mean, this place has everything. It's really amazing. Like, as she takes a swig of whiskey, and she's just. Oh,
Um,
mm.
I don't think we have everything. Just
Oh,
there is a
trust
lot.
me, this is like a lot better stocked than my like apartment.
Europe. I live with my parents, but they had busy jobs, and my brother is like a lot older than I am, so he has a place of his own.
Are you close
So
with your brother? Like,
I mean, he's all right. He's just yeah. I mean, he's busy setting up like a family and everything. He has a fiance, kid on the way. It's just like he's doing a different life at the moment than I am. He's in a different phase, and yeah, I don't know if we're really close. I mean,
like,
he's not bad or anything. Don't get me wrong.
but like this, like, does it have something to do with you not being like too used to people? Like, is that
Yeah,
because you were like grew up and you were like alone?
I was alone a lot, so yeah, being around a lot of people is like something takes time getting used to, and it's a rather colorful group.
Oh yeah, like I mean, I always think like the more the better, but I can totally understand that. But hey, just if there's something you need help with, or like if you just want to hang out, just get used to it. Like I'm always around, so
Thank you. That's kind. Yeah. I she kind of like um actually stands up and picks up her glass. I feel I need to talk to um I think I need to talk to Boris. I think he would be the best choice to talk to. Um
okay.
yeah, a few things have been on my mind.
Dude, oh, like is he on the roof or something?
I don't know. I might be a good idea to check the greenhouse first. Else I wouldn't know where he is really. So
Hey, or like let's go find Boris. Like we've been. It makes sense. Like if we're about to work together, we should probably get to know each other better. So
yeah,
like, but
sure.
where does he normally hang out? Like, does he hang around the greenhouse all the time, or?
Um like to be honest, the only places where I know him to be is either the greenhouse or kind of like here in the common area. So yeah, I kind of hope to find him there since he's not here. Maybe it's a good idea to bring the bottle along.
Oh yeah, good thinking. Uh, and Alex will get the whiskey and another glass. Not that it will probably be needed, but oh well. And she'll come around. You'll notice that, like, once again, like, Alex does not have any shoes on. Like, she seems to like going around barefoot.
Then yeah, Ava will go on first, take the stairs up to the greenhouse, and is just gonna check to see if certain someone is there.
A certain someone isn't there.
Oh dear. And she looks back to Alex, and she shrugs. "Mm, He's not here. I mean,
Oh,
when
we can wait in the common area. That's fine.
yeah, or like could hang around here if it's not too cold or anything.
I've been up here like actually a couple of times by now.
Yeah.
It's good to have some green areas. Like that's really the only thing I miss about New York. Is like not having like farms and like real forests, but just parks. But parks are fine. But
Yeah, I like to I liked to hike, back home, but well, I don't see that happening soon here. But then again, I kind of expected that.
well, I mean, you could still hike, but not like mountains and shit. But
No, she'll sit down and like refill her glass. I mean, it wasn't completely empty yet, but
Ava,
mm-hmm.
two things.
Oh dear.
First of all, you remember that a certain someone actually has a damn room, and that he told you time and time again you can knock on his door when you need something.
She just doesn't know where
And
that is.
second of all, somewhere in the back of your mind, you hear something go beep, 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 beep. It's like hearing something sent over the telegraph. It's like Morse code.
She perks up. Did you hear that?
hear what? Well, I suppose no, since you ask.
It's not that strong. It's not like actually hearing it. It's like a song coming back to you. It's like an earwig, like a song getting stuck in your head.
Mm.
Except this time it sounds like I'm not gonna do that sound again, but you get the
Yeah,
point.
yeah. So she kind of shakes her head. No, it's nothing, I think. Hmm. We could try to see if he's in his room.
Where's that? Like, is that like in the basement or something?
No, at least no. I think it's just like one of the bedrooms. You can always bring a plant along if it goes to, for some reason, if it goes to bloom, then that's usually where Boris is.
Oh, yeah, I've noticed that. I noticed that when he walked in. Like he
Mm.
was like so cool. Yeah, yeah. Like, but no. We'll just go and see if he's in his room. Uh, Alex will get up and just start going down to the rooms.
Ava will follow.
You eventually reach room 3. Did you bring a plant along or not?
Um, you know what? Why not? Why not? She would have brought a plant along.
Okay. Taking into account that you've got a rhythm more than a song stuck in your head, we can say that Ava simply forgot that Boris actually stated his room number.
Oh yeah, she completely forgot.
Um, you're more focused on the beep, 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 going on somewhere in the back of your mind.
Yeah, that is kind of distracting.
Um, and you move the plant next to each door, and as you reach front of room 3, the plant blooms.
Ava will hold up like the flower. It's like, look, and yeah, she'll knock on the door.
There's no immediate reaction. So you wait in front of the door, probably about a minute, give or take, before the knob is pushed down heavily and the door is barely cracked. And you hear poison.
Hi, it's Alex and Ava.
Yes. Sorry, I will need a minute.
Okay. Do we?
As you see Boris, you don't see inside his room because he's pretty big. He cracked the door a bit more. Two things you notice that strike you. First of all, he doesn't wear a shirt or anything, so he's basically topless. And he's fucking ribbed for a guy that's pushing 70, for all you know. Like bodybuilder style. The second freakier fact is that the tattoos on his arms, chest, and the small tattoo he has next to his left eye give off a faint greenish glow. It's actually the correct color would be turquoise, but greenish bluish glow.
Ava is appropriately impressed and will actually kind of step back. We'll we'll be back in the common room if like you have some time, maybe.
The door closes. 5 or 6 minutes later, Boris comes back to the common room in his usual wardrobe.
Yeah, Ava will like that would have probably poured a glass. Actually, she would have like if they have 5 or 6 minutes instead of the whiskey, she would have looked up like vodka, made sure that the bottle was there so that he could actually pick. I hope we weren't interrupting.
No, I was just wrapping up something. Actually, why don't you both roll me perception plus alertness? Actually, no, perception empathy. Perception empathy would be more appropriate.
Perception empathy. I have perception empathy somewhere on my sheet. Wow. Most inappropriate time. Like always when I'm in a scene with Lupo, I botch. Like with Duncan, I have a shit ton of successes. With Lupo, I botch.
I just need to. Hold on one moment. God damn it.
Okay, Ava, you woke him up. He's really pissed off.
Oh no. She'll actually look down as she said, I hope we weren't interrupting you. She shuffles with one of her foot, one of her feet, and like her fingers are nervously tapping a pattern on her upper leg.
I don't see nothing.
He just woke up.
she will pass, like, Alex will pass some booze to Boris.
Boris takes the bottle of vodka, takes a reasonable swig of it. Not his usual drink a whole bottle in 2 goes type of swig, but it's more than a normal human being can take in one go, especially since if they're just freshly out of bed.
Well, depends on the person, I suppose. But
So, girls, you need help with something, I take it.
Yeah, but I didn't mean to interrupt you with your sleeping. I'm so sorry. You can do it tomorrow if you prefer.
You see Boris like moving his head and his neck around, like trying to work out the kink in his neck and cracking his knuckles and his bones. Oh, it's good. I told you to come to me should you ever find the need.
It's really nothing important. I'm so sorry. Please.
Calm down, Lisochka. It's good. So what do you need?
We went by the new bookstore, like
Okay.
a couple of days ago, and the owner kind of immediately knew what we were.
Boris stops from all movement and his eyes widen in focus on you.
Yeah, we were already kind of wondering if maybe you or Tasha knew him. But like when Tasha described the guy, she said that he waved, so she didn't really call him anything familiar. Nor did she say that that we could just simply trust him. But he told us like kind of immediately that it was rare to see 3 of us.
So what did he know about you?
He knew what we were, and he knew a few things about like our personal like history and like our personality.
I see. Let's go to the roof. It's time for another lesson.
Okay. Are you sure? Like, I'm sure whatever it was can wait until tomorrow.
I stopped doing what I was doing. Lesson time now. And he gives you a smile. There's no malice, no ire in his smile. It's just this typical smile, except he looks fucking exhausted. Which is weird, taking into account the fact that Boris is always up and running, regardless of the hour of the day or the night.
Alex just follows. She follows up to the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Boris pops back into his room. Actually, he takes the bottle of vodka. He goes back to his room, pops up a little, takes his magic, quote unquote, his bag of tricks, his leather bag of tricks. Pete, check your pop-ups, my friend. And
The what? Sorry?
check your pop-ups because there's weird sounds coming from your computer again.
Fuck. Oh, shit. God damn it.
We get it, man. Hentai is a great addiction. We get it.
No, I should. I suppose I should. Fuck. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I got it. God damn it. This is annoying. Oh well.
Okay, coming back to this. So, Boris takes his leather bag and the bottle of vodka and gets up to meet with the two lovely ladies. He puts the bag next to his foot, takes a seat, and puts his elbows on the table. So, this man, what can you tell me about him?
And she'll give him the name that the player forgot. But
Which
the
is
character
Samir?
probably remembers.
Okay.
The only name that pops up in my head was Omar Shadid, and I know that that wasn't his name. But
Hello, my name is
exactly, like I just can't get that out of my head. So she'll give him the name and like a basic description of what he looked like. And yeah, I believe I kind of got the impression that he had been in the city before, but I might be wrong.
Okay.
Gave us tea. He was
Okay.
really pleasant, but
Okay. Like I said, lesson time. And I am modern teacher. You see, he's not even believing himself when he says modern.
yeah, no, Ava is not believing him either.
So we try modern method of teaching. Is first theoretical part. Secondly is practical part. So both of you listen up. Ava,
Yeah.
how many factions are there?
You mean traditions?
I said factions, not traditions.
No, I mean they are like one, right? And there are the union and I believe that you mentioned the ones that didn't belong to anything.
Not exactly how I would put it, but you are correct to a certain extent. There is indeed our faction, the Council of the Nine Mystical Traditions. We will circle back to that to bring Alex here up to speed, as you like to say. There are, of course, the ones that call themselves the Technocratic Union, the lovely people that kidnapped you not so long ago. There are those who do not like our ways, but are not a big fan of the Union, that form a group, a faction, that calls themselves the Dissipate Alliance. gang of idealists and fools. But they are there. And we should know about them. Beat, pop-ups, music, whatever. Stop it. It's annoying.
But sorry. Fuck the iPhone. Sorry.
Okay. And there are two more types of mages that you have not heard about. They are the ones that are down out there that we call marauders. They are not a faction of their own right. You know how sometimes when you cast magic, weird things happen. Reality pushes back. And he looks specifically at Ava.
What do you mean by reality pushes back? Exactly.
When you do magic, you force reality with your will. Reality is like net. You push, it curves, but it has tendency to push back. It is something that we mages like to call paradox. You do something that reality and common consensus would not believe possible. Reality pushes back harder. It is what some call vulgar magic. If reality pushes back too hard, you lose your mind, but not your powers. It is then that you become a marauder. Creatures of
Whoa, wait a minute. Wait. You're saying like doing magic can be dangerous?
doing magic is always dangerous. There is an element of skill, of course. There is an element of capacity, of ability, of course. But there is also an element of luck. There is good reason why we do not do magic openly in front of normal humans, of sleepers, how we call them. Because reality might push back harder than we can stand on our feet, and it might knock us off.
Boris,
Yes,
how can reality push back? How does it do that?
reality pushes back in as many ways and as there are to do magic. You grow branches. Time works differently. Your hair color changes. Your fingers glow. You start hearing words backwards.
Yeah, that happened once. Like not too
Reality
long
pushes
ago.
back.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. I didn't really do anything. Like nothing. I was about to go to the portal room, and I was listening to like my MP3 player, and I just started hearing things in reverse, and then Nausicaa walked in and she said things and I couldn't understand what she was saying. But I didn't do anything. It just happened.
Curious, but not unheard of.
Like,
You are still at the beginning of your road. Sometimes you cannot control your magic. And most of the times you cannot control how and when reality pushes back. You might have had a delay, Nisochka.
okay.
And getting back to my lesson here.
Sorry.
There is another faction. Among us. The most despised and wretched creatures to walk on the Earth Mother's surface. The ones that call themselves the Nefandi. Nefandus is an anti-mage. A demon worshipper in the most literal sense of the word. Should you ever hear that name uttered, run. Regardless of your skill, run as far as you can. They are strong, they are evil, they are twisted, and they are many. They do not rear their ugly heads too often, but when they do, they put up a fight.
Demon worshippers? Like Satanists or like
No, the Satanists that you see on television are children playing with symbols they do not understand. The ones I'm talking about are as strong as any other mage. It is destruction that they wish for. Chaos, death, torture, in the most gruesome ways that you can't even imagine.
well, but why? I mean, they're human, right? Or they're living.
They are living, but humanity is something that is very far from them. What happens to them is the opposite of what happens to a normal mage. We start seeing things better and brighter, they start seeing things worse and darker.
Do you think that the guy from the shop was like?
Doubt it strongly. For the Nefandi in many cases. They are many things. They have many flaws, but there is one thing they pride themselves in, and that is their subtlety. If that old man that you told me about is actually a Nefandus, is either a very foolish one or a very strong one. But I doubt it. That shop is too close to the chantry. And Tasha has a nose for them, sometimes even better than mine. Should she had had any suspicion, she would have told me.
But
Okay.
main thing is, if you hear about them or see anything, just run. Got it.
About this old man, there are other things out there, Alva. He might have been a fairy. He might have been a werewolf. He might have been a witch hunter. He might have been a foe. He might have been a friend. It's hard to tell.
But like some of these other things, like they're not all like hostile towards us, right? I think some, like you said, some of them are like can be friendly, right?
Some can be talked with. Some tend to be friends, tend to be allies. Some tend to be reluctant in meeting us. And some would kill us on sight. There are hardly any rules when dealing with the other creatures out there. But still, and this is where I get to the actual lesson. There is something I might teach you both. Fortunately for you, both of you seem close to my ways of doing magic, so what works for him might work for you as well. And he starts pulling out some things from his bag. The first thing you see is a box of matches. The other is a small leather pouch. Ava, you saw this before. And the third thing would be best described as a bomb, with the only exception that it's ceramic and it's not see-through, but it's a bong.
Like, what do you mean? Like, dynamite or?
No, B-O-N-G, bong.
Bong. Okay, I thought you said bomb, so I was like,
No, no,
matches
bong.
with a bomb, and I was like, okay.
No, 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 no.
Yeah, but as soon as Alex sees that, she's like, oh man, Boris, like, it's a really good thing you're here.
Some of the traditions. Actually, before we start, Ava,
Yes.
would you be so kind as to share with Alex your knowledge about the council?
Right. I think I've only heard them mentioned like once, but there are like 9 traditions. There are the well, the first and the easiest ones, I guess, are the Verbana. That's like
And
where Boris is from.
Boris bows his head. Yes. The Verbena, as some call us, the Verbena, more commonly known. We are the witches of old. We are the mages of life and all that life stands for. Keepers of the ways of old. And Boris raises his thumb.
And then there are the virtual adepts.
He raises another finger.
That's where Tasha, I believe, belongs to, right? She kind of looks at Boris.
He nods.
So they work with technology, but not like the Union does. Then you have the Hermetics.
not like to call themselves the Order of Hermes.
Apologies. The order of
Apologize to them if you ever see them. I couldn't care less how they call themselves.
They are doing things with wands and spells and rituals.
Classical magic. Harry Potter fanboys.
Then there are the Cult of Ecstasy, who
You would get along with famously, as he looks to Alex.
You think?
They don't have rituals, they have parties and orgies. Most of them are vegetarian. Fun crowd. I got this, and he points at the bong. I got this from one of them.
All right, that sounds like my kind of crowd. Like, for real?
They're nice people. Mages of time. They can make a night-long party last a week.
Wow.
Then you have the Dream Speakers.
And brothers in a way. Shamans. Spirit talkers.
Then the Akashic and
The Akashic
Yeah.
Brotherhood. Tibetan mages. Buddhist mages, some call them.
So is that like is Lee one of them?
He might have been. Never bothered to ask the man. You ask him yourself. He's pretty open to discussion.
Then there is the Society of Ether.
Yes.
They built stuff, right?
Scientists. Keepers of the ways of magic of matter. Weird people. But good in their crafts.
Then you have Celestial Choristers.
The choristers, or the celestial chorus as they like to call themselves. Wielders of the ways of Prime. Very big fans of going to the church.
And finally, there are the Euthanatai.
Another group of our allies. The mages of chance, but also the mages of death. The other half of the wheel of life and death that we also, as the verbena, keep turning.
Mages of Death?
Mages of chance, of entropy, of the passing, of hardship over things and people alike. strong warriors and bold scholars. But they tend to be a bit, how you say, morbid. Yes, indeed. Very good, Lisachka. And he nods in agreement. Very good.
She smiles.
Yes, indeed. These are the 9 mystical traditions, each specializing in one of the spheres of magic, specializing in one of the ways more than the others, each with their own culture, their own tradition, their own way of doing things. But you will learn more as time goes on. There are ways of shielding the mind against the curious, but a mind that can protect itself needs to be calm. And he opens the bag up and prepares the bong.
So what are we? She kind of looks at it and just goes, "So what are we firing up?"
He takes a bit of the plant material and rubs it between his fingers. It's my own blend. There's some weed, as you call it, some English pipe tobacco, and a bit of mint, just for the flavor.
All right.
And as he prepares the bong, he hands it to Ava. You know what to do, Lisachka. Gather your thoughts, shield your mind.
She she'll actually yeah, take off her glasses, rubs her eyes again, sighs deeply like a couple of times, and yeah, we'll try to inhale. She actually tries to ban out like the little ticking that she kind of has in the back of her mind.
And you can roll me your rarity.
Roll what? Sorry.
Rarity with lid. We're getting there. So
I got 2 4s.
you feel like your thoughts are gathering. You don't know if it's the weed or something else. There's a calm, serene feeling to it. Don't hurry, Pete, because I need to roll something before.
Okay.
You see Boris pulling the smoke that you exhale to his mouth and nose. And his eyes lock onto yours. Ava. You feel something pushing inside your mind.
She is gonna try to look away.
Doesn't help. You feel like there's you know the sensation you get when you get sunburned and you peel the burnt skin off your hand?
Mm-hmm.
You feel that, but on your head, like on your brain. Something, someone, something that just peels a layer. It doesn't hurt. It's weird to the point of being a bit gross, but not particularly discomforting. And it only lasts for like half a sec, like 5 seconds, 4 seconds, something like that. Then Boris looks back to you. Kaya is such a beautiful middle name.
Her eyes grow wider. You could have just asked if you wanted to know.
You need to practice more research. There are others that peer inside the mind with more strength, more depth than I can. It's good for a first try. But not good enough.
Right.
You're on the right path, no doubt.
She'll just pour herself a glass of, like, this is gonna be the third glass of whiskey that she has, so also make a stamina roll. But she's gonna pour herself a glass of whiskey and just kind of, like, in 2 sips, kind of throw it back, drink it. Because she didn't really expect that. Wow. Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
You can't really get worse than that.
Slam.
Okay. You get you put the glass on the table. The next thing that hits the table is your forehead.
Yeah. I think I was out for the count.
No, I'm not done yet. The bump is so hard that it wakes you up and you vomit.
Oh.
Whoa, whoa, like, whoa, whoa. Oh, and Alex will be there immediately to just hold her hair, make sure that she doesn't puke in her hair, and just say, like, okay, easy, easy. Like,
Oh. Oh, fuck. I don't feel so good.
And Boris, from somewhere, produces a hose and sprays away what Ava so kindly produced and shared with the class. And there are small drops of water that hit your face. It doesn't sober you up, but it keeps you from falling back asleep or passing out again.
So Alex just looks at the bong. So I'm up next.
Give me a minute here. And Boris looks at Ava and puts a finger under her chin, straightens her hair a little. Look at me, Lisochka. Are you okay?
She kind of looks up. Seems to take some effort. I'll be fine.
And Boris adjusts the flow on the hose to not be that strong and puts a bit of water in his hand, basically scrubs Ava's face to wake her up properly.
That's cold. Cold. Stop.
There's supposed to be some Viking blood in you. You should be accustomed to the cold.
Everything is wet. Why is everything wet?
Focus here.
Hmm?
Focus.
Yeah. Yeah. What?
And Boris gives you a quick peck on the forehead and you feel all smushy inside.
Oh. Sorry.
There's no problem. Don't mix booze when weed. Take it
Well,
from
if you don't have that much training.
I'll just sit over there a bit.
Boris hands the bong to Alex and the matches.
And Alex lights up and watch me. Oh, I didn't botch.
Ooh, nice. Now let's make this awkward. There's one success there, at least. Yeah. Actually, let me double check. Because if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this properly. Actually, there's 2 successes in there. Julie, or actually Alex, you've been in these sorts of like chill trips before, but everything's like the weed is good, the people are nice, everything's fine. but you feel like somehow you want to push the smoke, and it's like a weird trip. You feel like the smoke you just inhaled just needs to go up to your brain, and you need to keep it there. Make your mind cloudy, literally. Then you feel like a gust of wind blowing that smoke from your head off completely. Actually, not completely, but enough to poke a very specific area of your brain and actually of your mind that you're not really keen on sharing with the class yet. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like a pigeon shitting on your head. It's the same uncomfortable feeling.
Mm.
Um,
Alex or Julie doesn't say too much about this. He just sits there and just seems to just sit and not, well, enjoy the sensation or at least experience it completely as much as you can.
and Boris looks at her. There's a bit of disappointment in his face, and you don't need to roll to see it. Like, you both see it. Not bad. You're not as strong as her. And he nods towards Zava. At least not in this department. But there is something that I saw that I do not particularly like.
Oh, what?
Alex.
What's that?
There are few things that I dislike. Very few. But one of the ones that I dislike the most is dishonesty. Alex. Or should I call you Julie?
Yeah, like most of my friends call me Alex, but yeah, my I suppose my real name, my birth name's like something else. But yeah, it's Julie. But big deal. Like, why is that? Was that a big deal?
I will let you off this time. But keep in mind the fact that you enter the world in which your name means a lot. The
How,
people that try to hide their name either have something to hide or have earned the right to do so.
well, it started like mostly it's just when I sometimes once when I have to buy some things myself, like when I go to my dealer, like, he only knows me as Alex, so it's kind of like easier if you just go by some one name when you're buying drugs, and it kind of went from there to just Alex was just the name I went by, and it's like it's not a big deal, like, is it?
Like I said, ours is a world in which a name has much weight.
What do you mean by that? It's not like, does it have like magical properties?
Everything is magic. Everything is magic.
Hmm.
And Boris gathers his things, puts them back in the bag, and gives a nod to both of you. And there's a look, as in you both. He doesn't say anything as he gets out, but you both get the look. Julie, you get the look of disappointment. Like you have a feeling that Boris actually got insulted. Whereas Ava, on the other hand, you get the look of pride and some sort of pity for the state you're currently in.
I was gonna say I don't really think I was gonna notice much.
No, this is Boris. Like he's as blunt as you can humanly be. Like unless you're blindfolded, you're gonna figure that one out.
I mean, I think she's half asleep at this point again.
Right, but thanks for the thing. I think I need to get Ava to bed. Like, she's sleeping here won't be good, and I know where she sleeps. So, well, I know by now. So, but thanks, Boris, and sorry about the name. I didn't know it was a big deal. So, but
He gets down before you manage to finish what you want to say.
well, she will say something like she would just say, but Tasha actually knew about it, so I don't. Oh, well. But he probably doesn't hear that, and she just shrugs and just like, all right, let's go, and she will escort Ava down the stairs to the portal room, right? Because that is where she's sleeping.
That is where she's sleeping. And yeah, I guess that's as good a place as any to close the scene.
All right.
Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, SD, for SDing. And fuck you, Stamina.